Hello everyone! In today's video, I'm excited to share the top 3 life-changing money tips that I learned from China, especially from my Chinese parents. These lessons helped me triple my income in 4 years, achieve a 6-figure income in my mid-20s, and save 100,000 Swiss franc, which is over 110k USD, on a property that I just bought in Zurich, Switzerland earlier this year. On my channel, it's all about openness and transparency, and I truly hope these tips can provide some direction to a few of you, or at very least act as a source of inspiration. For those friends who joined me for the first time, my name is Charlene. I'm a CFA charter holder with a decade of experience in finance across Beijing, Hong Kong, Singapore, and currently I'm based here in Zurich, Switzerland. Empowering everyday people with financial literacy and helping them work towards financial freedom is my true passion. Let's get started. A little bit about my background. I was born and raised up in Liaoning province in China, very close to North Korea, and I grew up under the one-child policy. My father, a CPA, certified public accountant in China, he runs his auditing firm while he's also a finance educator on the side. My mother, on the other hand, retired now but used to work as a chemist in a state-owned company. Well, Chinese culture does tend to put a strong emphasis on money, often humorously portrayed in stand-up comedy. I'm sure some of you guys may have heard that during Chinese New Year holiday, instead of saying Happy New Year, we say 恭喜发财 in Mandarin or 恭喜发财 in Cantonese, which means hope you get rich. I'm not joking, it is true. So similarly, if you visit temples in China, we usually do 许愿 every year, which means make a wish in front of the god or deities. You'd often notice that a considerable number of people's wishes are about having more money in the new year. But what I learned in China and what my Chinese parents taught me is definitely more than just valuing money. Today, I will be sharing the top 3 life-changing money secrets that I've learned from my Chinese parents. Make sure to stick around till the end because trust me, the 3rd tip is an absolute game changer. Let's kick things off. Don't be frugal when it comes to investing in the future. The common perception of Chinese individuals abroad is that we're frugal. However, when it comes to investing for the future, I think Chinese people definitely stand out for their remarkable generosity compared to others. In Chinese culture, there's a saying that goes, 我们砸锅卖铁也会供你读书, which literally translates to we'll sell our pots and pans to put you through school. It illustrates the willingness to sacrifice essentials like pots and pans, even going without food, to ensure their children get an education. This saying isn't just limited to my family, it's a belief shared by countless Chinese families. Education is seen as a means to reshape destinies, especially in rural areas in China where opportunities might even more limited. When you don't have a strong family background, people believe public education is the only way for you to change your life. When I was a child, I loved piano music so much. I remember being glued to the TV screen whenever a piano concert was playing on TV. At the age of 6, first year in my primary school, I expressed my interest in learning the piano, but back then my family wasn't so wealthy and my dad just lost his corporate job. One day after school, surprisingly, I just saw a nice, polished, black piano just stood in my house, which made me almost burst into tears. This is me. My mom later on told me the cost of the piano was around 1,000 USD, whereas our total family saving back then was only 1,500. Can you imagine? A family was willing to invest 2/3 of their savings into something that wouldn't yield immediate tangible returns just because their kid loves it. The primary goal was to see me happy, to enrich my extracurricular life, and ultimately in the hope to help me pave the way for a brighter future. The story brings us to 2 financial concepts. 1, CapEx, and 2, ROI. CapEx stands for capital expenditure. If you watch my previous video, you would have a clue what it means. In simple terms, it's an investment made by a company or industry in the hope that in the future it can generate returns. In this case, it's buying a piano. An ROI, or return on investment, measures the return generated from that investment over time. The return also doesn't just mean financial returns, it could be all the happiness that you've gained along the way in this case. So in general, why do a lot of Chinese families put so much effort on their kids' education? And why do they have the saying that we'll sell our pots and pans to put you through education? Maybe most of them never heard of the term of CapEx or ROI, but deep in their heart, they understood these two concepts really well. They are willing to tighten their belts on meals, clothes, and even where they live, all for the sake of ensuring a brighter future for their children. This mindset has had a significant influence on me, especially when it comes to managing my finances. My usual habit is to cut back on day-to-day expenses or saving on OPEX so that I can allocate more resources towards strategic investments or CapEx. If you're curious to dive deeper into this, check out my earlier video titled Top 5 Habits That Keep You Poor. In that video, I break down the OPEX and CapEx concepts and shared how these ideas shape my personal spending choices. I will put the link at the end of the video. The next money tip that I learned from my Chinese parents is refuse to settle. Always negotiate for a better offer. Imagine this scenario, and I'm pretty sure many of you, especially those familiar with Chinese culture, can totally relate. Picture yourself in a market in China, ready to buy some potatoes. The seller tells you the price for 5 kilograms is 21 yuan, but here's the thing. You often hear buyers saying, 21, come on, let's just run it down to 20. And guess what? It isn't just about potatoes. It's a common thing with all the other purchases too. For instance, someone might say, 55. How about we round it down to 50 or 120? Don't be silly, let's just make it an even 100. Negotiating is in the blood of Chinese people, and my parents, especially my mom, are true masters at it. I've been learning their tactics since my early days, whether it's in supermarkets or shopping malls, and I've carried the skills into various parts of my life. And here is the real deal. I've taken the skill to kind of like a new level. For instance, during my time in Hong Kong, I managed to almost triple my salary over 4 years while remaining with the same company. I know at the end of the day, some colleagues refer me as the aggressive Asian bitch, but yeah, life is too short to worry about what other people think about you. Moreover, I secured a 15% reduction in my monthly rent through negotiation. And here's the kicker. This year in 2023, when I was purchasing a property in Zurich, Switzerland, I successfully negotiated a 100,000 Swiss franc reduction, which is around 110k USD. Hey, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and drop a comment if you're keen to learn more. If there's interest, I'm more than happy to spill the beans on more money negotiation tactics in my upcoming videos. Learn from the best. In this case, I'm not saying I'm the best. Chinese grandmas, they are. So remember this golden rule. Never settle for less. Always give it your all to negotiate for a sweeter deal. It's a lesson I've learned straight from my Chinese parents, and it's completely reshaped how I approach buying things and how I deal with, for example, a job offer. So the next big money tip I got from my parents is all about the power of financial independence. It might sound cliche, but trust me, it's a game changer. Financial independence can mean different things to different people, but let's focus on us, millennials. In this video, I'm referring it to being self-reliant, not depending on your parents, your family, your partner, or even your job. I remember when I was a kid, my parents would remind me that while they support me when I'm young, I need to stand on my own 2 feet as I grew up. It wasn't exactly the most exciting thing to hear, but it stuck with me. Now here's why this whole idea of financial independence really matters. It's all about having choices, the kind that lets you live life your way, making decisions that match your dreams, especially when others have different plans or expectations on you. There's a Chinese saying called 吃人家嘴短, which basically means you cannot criticize the ones who are helping you out. But when you are independent, you can have your say without being afraid that you may lose their help. Let me share a real-life experience that maybe many of us Chinese people can relate to. Right after my graduation, my parents really wanted me to have a super stable job, like becoming a civil servant in the government. You know, these jobs where it feels like you're set for life, sticking to one job forever and not being able to picture your life 30 years down the road. Yeah, that didn't click with me. My family and I had a lot of arguments back then. That's when it hit me. If I wanted to truly call the shots and have my freedom, I needed to achieve financial independence. That way, I wouldn't have to rely on their help anymore. So in the end, luck was on my side. Through hard working, networking, and a bit of luck, I landed the job I like after graduation. As my parents stopped supporting me financially, I found myself just doing fine. It became my way of showing that I could stand independently without leaning on my parents. Imagine if I couldn't find a job that could sustain me financially, that couldn't pay my rent. I might find myself needing assistance from my parents. To some extent, I might also feel obliged to align with their expectations. Interestingly, I was putting into practice the lessons they had taught me, even if it meant going against their expectations. So, to all the millennials, especially those amazing women, don't let go of your financial independence too easily. Even if you come from a very well-off family or your partner is well established, having your own sources of wealth and income is like having a hidden superpower. It gives you the ability to follow what you truly want to do, keeps you from being vulnerable, and eventually paves the way to freedom. Okay, now it's time to summarize. Let's recap the 3 powerful money tips that I've learned from my Chinese parents. 1. Invest for the future and capital expenditures. The saying of selling our pots and pans to put you through school isn't just a saying, it's a belief in shaping destinies through investments. By understanding the value of investing in strategic areas of our lives and focusing on returns that go beyond financial gains, we can make choices that lead to a brighter future. 2. Refuse to settle. Always negotiate for a better offer. Negotiation isn't just about bargaining over prices. It's a life skill that empowers us to shape our life. By learning to negotiate, we can secure better terms in all aspects of life, from salaries to rents to major purchases. Never settle for less. 3. The power of financial independence. Financial independence isn't just about having money, it's about having choices. It's about standing on your own feet, free from reliance on parents, family, partners, or jobs. With this kind of independence, you can live life on your own terms, make decisions that align with your dreams. These lessons have a profound impact on the way I manage my finances. I hope they've inspired you a little bit as well. If you're eager to explore more insights about managing your money better and breaking free from bad money habits that hold you back from getting rich, don't miss my video on 5 bad money habits that keep you poor. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more upcoming content. Leave a comment below. I'd love to know your feedback. Till next time, see you soon.